Good morning, my dear students of class 8. In our previous class, we had seen law of conservation of mass, and what is what is the need for balancing a chemical equation. Here we had seen what is law of conservation of mass, that mass can neither be created nor destroyed. During a chemical reaction, mass on the reactant side, it is equals to the mass on the product side. Now what is the need of balancing a chemical equation? If we know that atoms can neither be created nor destroyed, that means if a equation is balanced, then the number of atoms of each element on reactant side will be equal to the number of atoms of each element on the product side. We had seen that a skeleton equation means if our equation is not balanced. If you see my previous classes, this is your unbalanced, and we had given the name, what is called unbalanced equation, skeleton equation. In a skeleton equation, 34 gram was reactant and 18 gram it was product, and here was two oxygen atoms, here was one, so one atom of oxygen was lost, which can never happen. Another one, 16 gram of mass of reactant was destroyed, which can never happen. So when a balance equation was taken, so here was the 30 gram of mass of reactants, and here 36 gram of reactants, here was 36 gram of product. The number of atoms on the reactant side, the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side, it was equals to the number of atoms of each element on the product side. This is needed for balancing a equation, that number of atoms on reactant as well as product side should be same, and the mass on the reactant side should be same as the mass of product side. Now the question arises, how we can balance a chemical equation. So first, a chemical equation is what? It is obtained by writing the statement in word equation or in symbolic representation, means in the form of equation. So first, a chemical equation is balanced by following steps. Here are, my dear students, here what we are supposed to do, what we have to do for balancing a equation. We have to count the number of atoms of each element on reactant side, and we have to count the number of atoms of elements on the product side. This will be very suitable and helpful if we do the practice, if we write the equations and without seeing the book, now start balancing. That will help you a lot. What are the steps? Only I can make you understand. Rest of things you have to do a lot of practice. First, here is magnesium burns in oxygen to give magnesium oxide. This is the statement. What will be the word equation? Magnesium plus oxygen, it is magnesium oxide. Now if we formulate it means, now if we write this word equation in a form of symbolic representation, then formula will be what? Magnesium, its symbol is Mg, and oxygen, it is O2. Then what will be magnesium oxide? MgO. This is the skeleton equation. Why? On the reactant side, number of magnesium atom is 1. Here is 1. Magnesium is balanced, but oxygen, here are 2 oxygen atoms. Here is 1 oxygen atom. So, 1 magnesium atom is lost. It is lost or destroyed, which can never happen. So now we need to balance it. What are the steps? In short, what I had told you, count the number of atoms of each element on both the sides, either sides, on reactant side as well as product side. Inconvenient to start, balance with the compound that contains maximum number of atoms. First, balance that element which has maximum number of atoms or whose frequency is more. Whose frequency is more. Frequency means what? Repetition. Here if you see, oxygen atom has more frequency, means its number of atoms of oxygen is maximum. So first we will balance the oxygen. The number of atom is element on reactant side. If you see, magnesium is 1, oxygen is 2. Then number of atoms on each element on product side, magnesium is 1 and oxygen is 1. Therefore we can see that there is an extra oxygen atom present on the reactant side. Or in other words, we can say 1 oxygen atom has lost, destroyed. Both are incorrect. So, first step, we will count the number of each atoms on reactant side as well as product side. Then, we will balance those whose frequency is high, means whose number of atoms is most. So here are only 2 atoms, magnesium and oxygen. Magnesium is already balanced. So we will multiply the product side by 2. After multiplying this product, so what will happen? These 2 multiply the whole compound, means magnesium as well as oxygen. Now see, here at reactant side, magnesium is 1, oxygen is 2, but at reactant side, magnesium is 2 and oxygen is 2. Now, oxygen is balanced, but magnesium is unbalanced, means on the reactant side, there is an extra magnesium atom. So, this means that there is now 1 extra atom of magnesium on the right hand side, means product side. Now, multiply the magnesium of the on the reactant side by 2. Then you count on the number of atoms on reactant side is magnesium is 2, oxygen is 2. On the reactant side, magnesium is 2 and oxygen is 2. So this equation is now balanced. Similarly, if we take another equation, and this type of writing Mg2O is wrong. We can never write this. We will write at the beginning. At the beginning. Another one is hydrogen with oxygen to produce water. Hydrogen and oxygen reacts to produce water. Here is your hydrogen. Here is your hydrogen. Plus oxygen. Now it forms water. On the reactant side, hydrogen is 2, oxygen is 2. On product side, hydrogen is 2, oxygen is 1. So if here hydrogen is balanced, but oxygen is here is 2, on reactant side is 1. If we now multiply it by 2, then what happens? On the reactant side, hydrogen is 2, oxygen is 2. On product side, hydrogen is now 4, 2 to the 4, and oxygen is 2. Now oxygen is balanced, but hydrogen is now changed. So now if we multiply this product side's hydrogen, now hydrogen will be 4, hydrogen will be 4 on product side, oxygen will be 2, oxygen are 2 even on the product side. This equation is balanced. We will have the same thing here. The word equation is hydrogen plus oxygen. It is from water. Now formulate it. Write the equation. So hydrogen plus oxygen, it forms H2O, which is a skeleton equation. Now count the number of atoms of each element on either side. So on reactant side, hydrogen is 2, oxygen is 2. On product side, hydrogen is 2, oxygen is 1. So there is an extra oxygen atom on the reactant side, which is to be balanced. So multiply the product side by 2. What will be the equation? H2 plus O2. We are multiplying by 2. Now once again count the numbers. Hydrogen is 2, oxygen is 2. But now after multiplying, hydrogen becomes 4, oxygen becomes 4. Here, oxygen is balanced now. But hydrogen, on the product side, there are 2 extra hydrogens. So multiply hydrogen of the reactant side, left hand side, by 2. It is now balanced. One another example is here. Reaction of iron 2 means ferrous with hydrochloric acid. Here is iron plus hydrochloric acid. Iron 2 chloride means ferrous chloride. If there will be 3, then it will be ferric chloride. We had seen in our previous classes. So now this is the equation. Now if you count the number of iron on reactant side, iron is 1, hydrogen is 1, chlorine is 1. On product side, iron is 1, chlorine is 2, hydrogen is 2. Both hydrogens, if you can see, both hydrogen and chlorine has extra atoms on the product side. If we multiply HCl by 2, what will be the equation? What will be? We will have on reactant side hydrogen 1, iron 1, hydrogen 2, chlorine 2, iron 1 on product side, chlorine 2 and hydrogen 2. So thus the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side, the number of elements on product side, just you can see. Now further steps are not required here because this equation is balanced. One more example is here. Now you will see this one. What are the limitations of our chemical equations? What are the information that a chemical equation does not tell us? There are some equations that a chemical equation does not say us. First, physical state of reactants. Although chemical equation provides a number of information about the chemical reaction, but it has some limitation. What are the limitation? Means ये बहुत सा चीज information देता है but बहुत सा चीज नहीं देता है. Means these are the limitations which we don't get from a chemical equation. What limitations? What information we don't get? Physical state of the reactant and product. Here is reactions. This is zinc, this is hydrogen chloride. Do you know zinc is solid, liquid or gas? This HCl is solid, liquid or gas. This zinc chloride is solid, liquid or gas. We don't know. So, we don't know about the physical state by a chemical equation. Concentration of the reactants and product. What is the concentration? Whether this one is concentrated acid or dilute acid. Do you know? We are not knowing. Simply we are knowing this is HCl. Whether it is dilute or concentrated, we have no idea. The time taken for the completion of the reactions. How much time it will take to complete the reaction? Can you say? No one can say. What is the rate of proceeding of reaction? When the reaction has started, can you say? No. These things we don't get from a chemical equations. At what rate the reaction will produce, whether heat changes during the reactions, means whether the heat is given out or heat is absorbed, means whether the reaction is endothermic or exothermic. My dear students, in class 7, I am sure you might have studied a chemical reaction in which heat is produced, heat is evolved. They are called exothermic, and the reaction in which heat is absorbed are called endothermic. We don't get these things. The conditions such as temperature, at what temperature the reaction is taking place, at what pressure the reaction is taking place. Catalyst, we know what is catalyst, chemical substance which either increases or decreases the rate of reaction are called catalyst. If it increases the rate of reaction, it is called positive catalyst, and if it decreases, it is called negative catalyst. It is called negative catalyst. So, a nature of the reaction, whether it is reversible or irreversible, this information we don't get. But now if we want to write, or if we want to know the informations, see, we can write the physical state of the reactants and product. We can write here as some, in some of the books you will find here as this is liquid, or we can write below this is liquid. Now whether it is concentrated or dilute, we will write DIL, or if it is concentrated acid to CONC. In short, we write concentrated. This is this. Now here either you write here gas, or you write here gas, or give a symbol of this. This means going up. Going up, gases always goes up. Then evolution or absorption of heat during the chemical reaction. See Babu, you are the kids of chemistry. You are knowing nothing. Zinc is solid and it is cold. Like iron, normal, it is cold. This is liquid, acid, it is cold. But if you take some acids in a test tube, now if you pour some pieces of zinc, there will be boiling. This solution will start. I am using wrong words, not solution. We can say now this mixture of HCl and zinc will start boiling, and when you will touch the test tube, it will be hot. Means here heat is produced. Means this is exothermic reaction. Here heat is produced. Now if it is calcium carbonate, if you will heat it, it will absorb. Means here heat is absorbed. Now reactions takes place, will form calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Here heat is absorbed, is called endothermic reactions. So if we write minus or plus, it will give information that in this reaction heat is evolved or here heat is absorbed. Then temperature or temperature, pressure and catalyst. Simply if we write nitrogen reacts with hydrogen, it produces ammonia gas. We are knowing nothing about this. But same reaction, if we write here 200 atm to 900 atm, means the reaction takes place at this pressure. If we write 450, means reactions takes place at 450 degree Celsius. If we write here iron powder catalyst, means here catalyst is used, iron powder is used as catalyst. MO, molybdenum, it is used as promoter. So it will give more and more information. Concentration of reactants and products. I have told you, if we write here concentrated or dilute, it will give more and more information. Now, by the sign this or this, in this reaction, if we write this one, it shows that the reaction is irreversible. But here if we are writing or giving this symbol, means the reaction is reversible. We get these informations of our chemical reactions. So for a gas, here we write this. Now if one example, one more which is not in your book, if it is calcium sulfate, when reacts with sodium hydroxide, will form calcium hydroxide plus Na2SO4. After balancing, here we are going to do nothing. If we write this, means this is going down, means it is precipitate is formed. So for this arrow denotes for some insoluble substance is formed. So my dear students, today we have finished this chapter. We will proceed to the next chapter. At the same time, I would like to make you a humble request that on the mock test you will get the questions of 25 marks, and almost the questions will be of only two types. Some will be objective and only a few questions you will get subjective or descriptive. Wish you all the best. Bye.